another way to find agents is by looking at bios on websites, maybe Twitter bios of authors that you like, authors whose work you like, and maybe you follow them on social media. Very often authors will say who their agent is in their Twitter bio or on their website or in other social media presence. And that's something good for you to know, because if you like this author's work and maybe your work falls within the same category or genre, so for example, if they write young adult and it's more speculative young adult, so science fiction, thriller, horror, or fantasy, and you write within those categories and genres, then that could be a good agent for you. So you may, put it on your list of agents to look into and to consider. Another thing is I found useful, and you probably will as well, is Manuscript Wishlist. So that could be either found as a hashtag on Twitter, or there are websites that accumulate information. So if you just Google Manuscript Wishlist website, you can see what agents have been putting out there on social media in the sense of what they're currently looking for. And it could be something very wide and maybe a bit generic in terms of, I'm looking for space opera, young adult space opera or something. Or it could be something very specific. And a lot of it comes down to an agent's individual taste, and sometimes what they like in terms of what were their favorite movies or books when they were growing up. And that tends to shape their interests now as well, in addition to other factors. So for example, with my first book, the way the agent that initially signed those books and got me a book deal for my debut novel and another book, she got back to me saying, I really like the feel of Labyrinth, your book. What would keep reminding me of the movie Labyrinth, it was the atmosphere, the feel, the darkness of it, and the fantasy. And it was my favorite movie as a kid, and I really, it really clicked for me. So, and I said to her, yeah, Labyrinth was my favorite movie too, as when I was growing up. So that's immediately we clicked, and that was the common thing we shared. So, keep track and pay attention to what agents are saying, because you might find an agent that you share interest with, or something that you both really love or adore from pop culture or movies or books, and that's something you can connect with when you approach that agent. And obviously it's very important to tailor your query to fit the submission requirements of each agent. And very important, I think a lot of agents will say to you, oh my gosh, you'll be surprised how many submissions I receive that just don't fit my requirements. And that comes from the preferences for reading on their phone or reading on their tablet or whatever. So just make sure you follow that, because it's a matter of respect.